Hi everyone, I'm Leah from France. I'm going to show you one of the most prestigious and beautiful World Heritage sites, the Palace of Versailles. In today's video, we're going to discover this historical site and also learn more about how and where the royal family spend their leisure time in the Palace of Versailles. Just as the Palace of Versailles, 회암사지 in Yangzhou represents a royal heritage space. 회암사지, also known as the Palace of Healing, is one of the representative historical sites where the largest royal temple was located. This peaceful place, which used to be a healing space for royal people in the past, has now become a venue for festival and is also being used as a healing space for citizens. Now let's discover France's representative healing space for the royal French family, the Palace of Versailles. In 1661, the King of France, Louis XIV, decided to move his court out of Paris and build a new palace here in Versailles. Years later, this huge and stylish palace was completed and Louis XIV moved his court and government here in 1682. After Louis XIV, a succession of kings continued to embellish the palace up until the French Revolution. The palace contains 2,300 rooms spread over 63,154 square meters. One of the most famous rooms in the palace is the Hall of Mirrors. Courtiers and visitors cross the Hall of Mirrors daily, and it also served as a place for waiting and meeting. It was used for entertainment held for royal weddings or diplomatic receptions. Economic prosperity is revealed in the number and size of the 357 mirrors bedecking the 17 arches opposite the windows, demonstrating that the new French manufacture could rival the Venetian monopoly on mirror manufacturing. At the time, such items were a great luxury. Now let's go to the most beautiful spot in the Palace of Versailles, the Grand Garden. Work on this garden started at the same time as the work on the palace and lasted for 40 years. As the palace, the garden is huge and has plenty of golden statues, but the basic structure is classical. It is symmetrical, repetitive, and directly borrowed from ancient Greek temples. The building you see behind me is the Petit Trianon, a new residence that Louis XV decided to build in the middle of his garden in 1758 as a gift to his lover, Madame de Pompadour. And later it became Marie Antoinette's favorite place to stay, and she even enjoyed it more than the royal palace. Louis XVI gave the Petit Trianon and its estate as a gift to his young bride, who rapidly made it her own and set about redecorating the exteriors. And to finish our visit of the Palace of Versailles, I would like to show you a place that contrasts a lot with the glamour of the palace. It is called the Queen's Hamlet, and it is the most beautiful, natural, simplest garden in the whole Palace of Versailles. It was composed of 10 small buildings with a rustic appearance and set around a lake. The Queen's Hamlet does not belong to any particular style, combining as it does various influences from royal architecture, but it does succeed in creating a sense of aesthetic coherency. Marie Antoinette, who loved to get away from the court of Versailles, was very fond of the Hamlet, a place where she could enjoy walking and hosting small gatherings. The agricultural and horticultural experiments carried out here were also an important part of the royal children's education. When comparing 회암사지 and the Palace of Versailles, it is obvious to see that the main difference is the atmosphere, much more peaceful in 회암사지 and much more glamorous in the Palace of Versailles. But I think the common thing is the intention of both countries to show royal dignity, with the largest royal temple in Korea and with a symbol of absolute power of the king in France. And of course, both places are a healing space for the royal family to rest their mind, relieve their loneliness, and heal their heart. I think if I live in the royal family, my favorite place to heal would be the Queen's Hamlet. Yes, I'm much more sensitive to nature, simple things, and I really love the little cottages. It was so pretty, so beautiful. If one day you visit the Palace of Versailles, I really recommend you to visit Queen's Hamlet. For me, it was a really interesting experience because of the contrast that it creates, and it made me actually enjoy the palace even more. So yeah, that was my favorite. Well, sadly, that's time for me to leave you guys and leave that beautiful place. So I hope you enjoyed the visit, and I'll see you soon. 안녕히 가세요!